One of the popular forms of worshipping Shiva is through a lingam. What is this lingam? As per Yogashika Upanishad, the word lingam comes from the words linam and gamayati, meaning that within which the objects are merged or undifferentiated. That is, one object means or represents the other. So lingam means a mark, that which leads one to infer something.
This aspect of a lingam as a mark to infer something has a multidimensional perspective. When a baby is just born, the way to identify whether it's a male or a female is through the male genital organ. It is as old as nature itself. It is the mark of a man. As it is a mark of identifying a male, the word lingam is the word used for the male genital part. Since the concept of a Shivalingam is also a mark, the Shivalingam in the last 300 years has been unfortunately categorized as only being a phallic emblem by the European colonial historians who came to India.
What is the Shivalingam a mark of then? To see this, we will go to a beautiful story in the Shiva Purana.
Immediately on creation, the creator, Brahma, has a question as to how this creation happened. Brahma asked this question of Vishnu, from whose navel Brahma himself originated. Vishnu answered, "I am thy father." Brahma was not satisfied with the answer, and a volley of questions and answers ensued between the two of them, which led to a display of their respective powers. At that time, Vishnu and Brahma spotted a third entity apart from themselves, which was a column of fire. The two, Brahma and Vishnu, wanted to find out as to what this column of fire was. Brahma flew towards one end to search for its origin, while Vishnu penetrated towards the other end, taking the form of Varaha, the boar, to bore to its other depths. In their search, both could not reach the two ends of this column, and the story in the Shiva Purana goes that they both came back to where they started from with the realization that this prapancha had expanded almost instantaneously from the most minuscule size to universal in magnitude. This fact of the story is now borne out in the scientific understanding that this universe instantaneously on the Big Bang expanded to a universal size beyond measure. This column of fire is considered as the first manifestation of Shiva at the instant of creation, and the Shivalingam is a mark from this event. This story of the event of creation has been beautifully brought out through the sculpture of Lingodbhava. The story of the Lingodbhava and the column of fire that manifested during creation also finds expression through the form of the 12 Jyotirlingams spread all over India, even to this date. While all this could be an explanation of a Puranic story, you may be curious to know if there is a real Shivalinga from ancient times. The earliest Shivalingam that has been archaeologically excavated and dated seems to be from the Harappa Mohenjo-daro sites of the Sindhu Saraswati civilization of the period 3000 BCE or before. This area in the northwestern part of India, where the Sindhu Saraswati civilization flourished about 5000 years ago, is also the same geographical region described in the historic epic Mahabharata. Of the historical characters of the Mahabharata text, the prominent one of them being Arjuna, propitiated to Shiva for his boons. This archaeological find of that region and the literary details of Shivalinga worship of that period tally well. Here, archaeological finds meet literary history and bring forth clearly to us that the worship of Shiva through the Shivalingam has been a continuous practice of this land for well over 5000 years and more. Ramayana is another historical epic of India and deals with the life and events of one of the most popular kings of the land, namely Rama. In this epic, Ravana, who abducted Sita, Rama's wife, and whom Rama fought and killed in a fierce battle, was the king of Lanka. This Ravana, despite his one unlawful act of abducting Sita, was a well-read scholar and a good king for his subjects. He was a great devotee of Shiva and had built a number of temples for Shiva in Lanka and consecrated linga in them. This implies that Shiva must already have been a very established and popular divinity even before the times of Ravana. Similarly, the famous Rameshwaram temple in South India and the Shivalingam there, Ramalingam, is also said to date back to the period of Rama and Ramayana. Using an integrated approach of correlating literary records with geography, marine archaeology, and archaeoastronomy, we have now been able to place Ramayana at 5114 BCE, that is over 7,000 years ago. Thus, the worship of Shiva, and that too in the form of Lingam, could well be bracketed with some of the longest continuous unbroken practices of this globe, going back to well over 8,000 years ago.